I don't know what's coming out this week. I have no fucking idea, but that's why we pull this guy into it, Jarret, with all of the news of physical media. And it's good to see you again, mate.
It's good to see you, gentlemen. Now, just recovering from a 10 days of Monster Fest, not consecutive. Oh, well, actually, kind of, because I say 10, it's technically 11. But
And
anyway,
I bet
recovering
you're
from that.
working on your day off anyway.
Always, always. And there was a few nights, obviously, I didn't go because I worked all day, and I was like, well, I don't know if I can really. And I've seen the films, for the most part, so I can't be there the entire time. But yeah, I got to host a few Q&As on the weekend just past, so that was, that was a bit of fun at least. But now it's good to be home amidst the physical media. I was doing a interview with a chap I think he was in Thailand. He's an American recently, and he's a film historian on predominantly sort of Hong Kong Chinese cinema. And he was like, he was just in awe of the DVDs, and I was like, well, there's a lot more than that. This wall, and then I picked up the laptop, and I was like, this, and yeah. Anyway, so it was a fascinating chat. That's on an upcoming imprint release that they haven't announced yet, so I can't say too much about it just yet.
Did you show him the cupboard?
No, God, no. I bared enough shame without opening the cupboard of shame.
I really need to prepare an answer for that because it's always the first thing out of their mouths is like, oh,
yeah,
look at all those movies behind you.
You go, I made every single one of them.
Yeah. Or they say, are they movies?
You go, no.
My problem is that they always go, have you watched all of these? And the answer is no.
Yeah.
No, not even half. Not even half.
Yeah, that's it. All right, guys. So this week, it's a jam-packed week of releases. There's a ton of new content and there's a ton of classic content all making their way to 4K Blu-ray and DVD. But because there's so much content, I'm not going to focus on anything that's only got a DVD release. And I'm also not going to do a focus film this week, which breaks my heart because I watched a movie last night for the first time and just was in awe of it, just thoroughly enjoyed it. And Danny was apprehensive about watching it. I'd read the synopsis to her a few days ago. And then she clearly had forgotten the synopsis because she was constantly surprised by what was happening in the film. And she's like, how do you know? You said you hadn't seen this. I said, I read the synopsis to you 2 nights ago.
Will you at least name drop it or are you going to save it?
No, I'm going to save it till next week because, yeah, it's a perler and I want to talk about it a little bit at length.
All right.
So anyway, moving on to this week's releases. First up from Paramount, we've got A Quiet Place Day 1 that's hitting all the formats. We've got 4K Blu-ray and DVD. Both the 4K and Blu-ray had Dolby Atmos, so no difference there. You're just going to get that uptick in quality with the HDR Dolby Vision on the 4K. Same special features as well, and to be honest, it's not that terribly exciting. There's some deleted scenes, extended scenes, and then 5 featurettes. So, yeah, no commentary.
And there's a triple pack as well.
And there is, yeah, which it just makes no sense to me because, let's face it, we know that there's going to be A Quiet Place 3. and I don't know. I feel like once you put movies and spin-offs together, just, I don't know, keep it separate, do their own thing and then wait for it all to be over and do a complete set. But let's face it, when this thing's finished, there's probably not going to be any physical media. But not to be a harbinger of, it's not going to happen because I was literally thinking after I watched that movie that I'm not going to talk about today, how this thing's got a Blu-ray release and how when I was collecting DVDs back in the day when the format was new, how none of this stuff made its way to DVD. And when it did, it was sort of laid into the piece, almost on the cusp of Blu-ray. And I thought, well and truly, we are in the golden age because like Kino Lorber are putting out stuff on such a regular basis that of things that I've never heard of or never thought I'd get to see because it certainly wasn't on streaming and, unless you have a VHS copy of it. And it really is but it's so much so that there's so many releases coming out of a month here locally too with Umbrella and Viavision, but particularly in the States with, Kino Lorber, there's just so much content coming out that now you kind of have to get a little bit more selective about what you want. Like I ordered this William Catt film, First Love, that I've been dying to see for years. And, it got me over the line that Lee did a commentary for it. So I was kind of like, well, okay. And he does it with William Catt. But that's a film that I've wanted to see for absolute years. But, it's costing me $30 to watch it. And I thought, well,
Oh, mate, I bet you would have loved to have done that commentary with William Catt.
I would have absolutely. I mean, we wouldn't have talked much of First Love. It would have just all been about House and Baby the Lost Legend.
Funnily enough, I've actually seen First Love, but that was during my searching for Susan Day nudity.
Oh, okay. Yes, of course.
Latin Looker I had on the VHS. In fact, I think it was the boss's brother at the video store who had Looker, because he was also obsessed with Susan Day, but he came out of the closet much later in life. So that's why I think that's where the Partridge Family obsession came. Unacknowledged.
Looker's such a strange film. Was that directed by Crichton as well? I know it's written by Crichton. I think it might have been.
I'm not sure, actually.
It's like Crichton's reoccurring themes with his films. You know, either they're some sort of robotic or brainwashed or something. But anyway, Crichton, what a legend. Might I recommend Rising Sun that I revisited last year? That, if it wasn't in the Fox catalogue, is deserving of the ultimate 4K treatment. But who knows?
Coma is great as well.
Coma is good. Shout Factory did a pretty good release of that maybe 2 years ago. And weirdly enough, Lee did a commentary on that one as well. I mean,
fucking Westworld.
Every third film. Yeah. Oh, and Westworld, of course. I mean, I'm even partial to Future World as well.
Same here.
Yeah,
I don't mind Jurassic Park, despite what everyone says.
I love Jurassic Park, the original. I sold the rest of them off. Got rid of them. Yeah, it's like who hates Jurassic Park? Yeah, I guess it's one of those underdogs, isn't it?
Yeah,
underdogs of cinema. So moving on, we've got some releases coming from Umbrella Entertainment. Actually, we've only got one because the other releases are coming next week. So this one is a huge release. It's Caligula: The Ultimate Cut. It's coming out in two versions. You've got like the deluxe, crazy, ultimate power sort of edition, which is still available on the Umbrella site. And if you like Caligula, or you just like bizarre kind of movies that have had very strange histories, I recommend that edition. But the trade-wide edition is still very good as well. It's got a slipcover. It's 4-disc set, 4K, and 3-disc Blu-ray. It's got 5 cuts of the film. It's got that ultimate cut that played Cannes last year that's been doing the rounds in cinemas of late. It's got the unrated US theatrical. It's got the Italian cut. It's got the UK cut. It's got there's another cut in there. Oh, God. It's the Australian R-rated cut. So there's multiple cuts. The thing is, though, the ultimate cut is the only one that's in 4K on the 4K disc. The others are in either HD or SD on the accompanying Blu-rays. And there was a lot of people going, oh, well, I'm going to get the US version. It doesn't have all the special features, but it has the ultimate cut on 4K, but it also has like the unrated US theatrical on 4K. Well, guess what? Unobstructed View fucking screwed it up, and it doesn't. They've put the censored UK cut on the 4K. But
also, who is going to sit there and watch all of those versions? Seriously.
Well, look, this guy did. This guy did. This guy's watched every cut imaginable because thanks to Ben, I got a great gig. I think it was late last year, over Christmas, really. I did watch every one of these cuts to decipher exactly what the differences were between them, so I could put together a video essay called The Rise and Fall and Resurrection of Caligula. So it's a 26-minute video essay that kind of details all the differences.
That's all you need?
You know? You do, but after that, you kind of want to see it for yourself. I
will say Umbrella have made like a fatal mistake, seemingly. Because I did see on Facebook a couple of people going, is this the uncut version? Is this uncut? And I looked at the JB Hi-Fi listing, and it does not seem to say anything about what's on the pack.
Well, funnily enough, I spoke to the JB listings bogus, but I put that down to them. You know, I was in that role once upon a time, and you have to really get the info from the distributors or go to their sites. And I mean, look, it was been up for pre-order for however long on the Umbrella site with all the info, as inaccurate as some of the info is. But I do know when I was speaking to, I won't say who, over at Umbrella the other day, they did say that one of the contractual stipulations they had with the inclusion of the unrated US theatrical cut was how they called it or what they titled it as. And yeah, I don't know. So that the way they were able to include it was by calling it something. I don't know what it was all about. I mean, it was very noisy in the foyer. It was.
So they're essentially not selling an X-rated, like willingly selling an X-rated version.
Yeah? No. They are, because it has been rated, because it did get rated by the classification board about 3 years ago and got passed with an R, which is mind-blowing. But classification these days is mind-blowing, because like even Terrifier 3, how that passed. I mean, a few years ago, that film would have been refused classification. We had trouble with Father's Day
I
at
know.
Monster. And
I was going to say, I think Father's Day.
It was an erect dick. That's the
set it
difference.
bar. Yeah.
yeah, but like there's a lot of erect dicks in Caligula, the hardcore.
Oh, that's true. And sucking off. Everyone's frozen.
There's your grab.
Everyone froze then, though.
Oh, okay.
Right on the dick sucking.
It was the internet trying to censor us. But anyway, enough of Caligula. This is the definitive version. It's got a lot of archival and all new special feature content. Plus, it carries the most versions of the film.
I hope that Umbrella
anywhere in
are
the
not
world.
charging freight based on weight, because I've read that it's the heaviest box set everyone's ever purchased.
I only seen the videos and heard what people are saying. I'm still waiting on my copy to arrive, probably stuck somewhere because of its weight. So it's at the back of a Aussie Post van or something. But yeah, it's supposed to be a complete.
It's on that conveyor belt that's tumbling.
Yeah. Thing looks pretty sturdy though, so I don't think it's gonna, get too much damage. But moving on from
did you get the version with the bronzed horse penis?
Well, this is the 45th anniversary of the film as well. So look, I wouldn't put it past anyone to do something special for the 50th anniversary. Actually, I was going to talk about another distributor and their release next, but I see this as a good segue to talk about Mad Men, who are capitalizing on more anniversaries of their catalog titles by doing bare minimum. So total cash grabs, totally worth mentioning. Howl's Moving Castle. We talked about the Studio Ghibli title. I think it was Kiki's Delivery Service or something the other week that was having like a 35th anniversary.
Yeah.
Well, 20th anniversary of Howl's Moving Castle, and they've put it in a nice slipcase with 2 vinyl stickers. So you could have bought this title for like $12.98, but now they can sell it to you for $30 with that slipcase and the 2 vinyls. And all the other content has stayed the same, and it's still only Blu-ray, but they haven't stopped there because they're mad about these anniversaries at the moment. They've also got a 10th anniversary of What We Do in the Shadows, which is got a slipcase and 6 art cards, but it also includes a bonus disc. And everyone's like, oh, that's exciting, a bonus disc. Now we're getting a special edition of What We Do in the Shadows. Well, they did do the special edition of this, and I think it was a JB exclusive when it was released. So maybe 3 months after the release, they double dipped, but they made that fatal error of making the Blu-ray special edition in a DVD size case. And
The one I've got.
Yeah, faced some grief for that. So anyway, this version is effectively that version that's just reissued. But anyway, 10th anniversary of that. But my favorite one that's coming out is a 10th anniversary of Nightcrawler with Jake Gyllenhaal. That film is getting a re-release.
Have you seen the price on that?
Yeah, it's outrageous. But you know why? They got the slipcover and you got the art cards, but they've also included a 122-page script with it too, which you probably can go on the internet and get a PDF of that.
Tell us how much-
you're paying a premium for
Tell us
this.
how much that
ROM
is.
content used to be for.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, when people had disk drives. Yeah, it's outrageous.
It's like $90.
Yeah, it's criminal. And I mean, the funny thing is, I have seen that Blu-ray go into promos at like JB back in the day for as low as $6.98.
Yep.
So, get the PDF, take it down to Officeworks, get them to print it out for you. You can probably get a bound or special, and you're going to save a shit ton of cash. I will say, though, the original theatrical key art is on the slip and on the Blu-ray cover, which is terrific. They should have gone with it the first time around, but, they did that art. But anyway, total cash grab, coming soon to a bargain bin near you, no doubt, because no one's going to pay $90 for that. Come on, seriously. Look, and Umbrella's doing Caligula 4-disc set with the slipcover they've actually gone to the effort of doing so much stuff with, and it's 4K.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. Universal are releasing Twister on 4K Ultra HD locally. This comes a week ahead of Twisters, which is coming out next week now. So Twister making its 4K debut locally. It's got an Atmos track. By all reports, this Atmos track is like reference quality.
Bad timing, though.
Oh, yeah, because of the state of affairs in the United States. Yeah. I'm glad that they did get the movie out in the US summer and not the US fall, because, it would have been...
The irony is that tornado or cyclone or whatever you want to call it, it's probably going to rip through a few retailers, and there'll be actual copies of Twister flying through the air.
Well, there you go. The third one could be a found footage film, and it's user submitted. So that could be interesting. But in terms of special features, this ports all the archival content that's been on the previous local Universal release, but there's also a 15-minute featurette, all new, The Legacy of Twister, which obviously they use to puff up and sell Twisters, which is out next week. And we'll talk about that when that happens. So there's one more release I want to
Oh,
touch
don't
on.
don't forget. Most importantly, the cow is on the PR.
Oh, on the artwork,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
And I have not seen. I've only seen some videos on YouTube, but I haven't seen the retroactive color grade on this because I do believe that they have given it a slight green tinge.
Yeah,
But regardless,
I heard that.
looking forward to checking it out. I will pick it up on 4K, but I'll wait for that one to go into one of those twofers at some point in time. Last distributor is Viavision. Now, Viavision have an awesome release I'm really psyched about. Doppelganger is coming out on Blu-ray. Global debut, Drew Barrymore. Yeah, it was like a, old CBS Fox bloody classic renter in the day. I had a soft spot for it. It's played on tally a bunch of times. Global Blu-ray debut. It comes with a slipcover. Now, on the Viavision site, they are saying special edition. However, they haven't denoted any of the special features. So I don't know if that was like they were hoping to do a special edition and it didn't kind of pan out, or whether, in fact, it does have some good content and they haven't updated the site.
Sorry, is that Viavision or is that Imprint?
No, this is a Viavision release. Yeah, I think maybe because it is a sort of made for video, made for TV, maybe they just felt that it didn't fit. But then again, they do imprint television stuff as well, and they are doing an imprint made for TV movies.
The direction they should do is these kind of movies that were sort of DTV or made for television. There's some Mikey and things like that.
Well, there is some good stuff. I mean, they did do the Ginger Snap set, not all too long ago. So that Viavision put out so much content of a month. It's ridiculous. Like, we always see the imprint titles because they're the ones that, are the premium ones, but there's so much back cat stuff. And they do put a lot of effort into these other catalog titles. And yet you don't know sometimes until you pick it up and look at it and go, oh, hang on, this one does have special features. It does have that. Like, I picked up recently Jesus Christ Superstar, which I'm saving to watch, Christmas, Easter, Anyway, this is loaded with special feature content. Admittedly, it's archival content, but this is stuff that wasn't on the local Universal Blu-ray back in the day. It was on, I think, the network or another distributor in the UK's release. So they put a pretty solid effort in on their releases. So anyway, Doppelganger. And the other one that's coming out from Viavision, which is the first time to Blue, I believe, locally. I don't think it's come out on Blue prior. It's Time Bandits, the Terry Gilliam film. And it's, nice slipcase, archival extras. In this case, I did pick up the Arrow release not all too long ago because they did get a 4K release in the UK. But anyway, it's getting a local release on Blu-ray.
I wonder if they were trying to cash in on the new TV series, which has been cancelled.
Yeah, has it aired yet?
Yeah, it's on. I think it's on Apple, but it's been canned already. Okay,
so they're not doing a second season then, or a third season. God, it took so long. Like, when we were over in New Zealand doing Grafted, the chap that was our photographer, Matt, I think his name was Matt. He had worked on Time Bandits, but it had shot sort of like late 2022 into maybe very early.
Because it was Taika Waititi, right?
It was, he's producer.
And he's fallen out of favour, so I don't know if that had anything to do with it.
And there was that story, Terry Gilliam going onto the set of it, and apparently he hadn't looked at the scripts or anything, but was bitterly disappointed that there were no small actors there, that they had reworked it and they weren't using small people on there.
I've never actually seen Time Bandits. I've tried.
Time Bandits is, it's great.
Times I just couldn't get into it, but I've never seen it. Like that and Jabberwocky are the two kind of...
Oh, do a double feature. They're fantastic.
Yeah, both of them are totally worth it. I mean, do a triple feature, although it's not Terry Gilliam per se. It does have a lot of the Python people, but Yellowbeard goes really 100%. Well with that as well.
I used to love Yellowbeard as a kid.
Yellowbeard's fantastic. Yellowbeard's in dire need of a re-release. Like, I don't think there's been a Blu-ray. I don't think. We've had a DVD locally, and it goes for a lot of cash. Yeah. But that's a film that's crying
years
out
ago, back when we had the Fake Shemp website, I did an article on all of those Python adjacent movies. And so many, even that was it. Clockwork was in there as well. And
I love that movie, Clockwork, with John Cleese.
Yeah,
so Yellowbeard may be a bit problematic because it's so much raping.
Besides Eric the Viking, full of it.
I don't know if anything's problematic these days, Ben. When it comes to home entertainment, you just stick a trigger warning on there and you're done.
Yeah, such a niche audience, you don't have to worry about those things.
No, they're not. Let's face it, they're not paying for physical media. They're just getting out and having a whinge about it more often than not without having seen it or without it having even been released.
I mean, Eric the Viking opens up with a scene where he's sick and tired of all the raping and all the pillaging.
Exactly. And I mean, that's had a great boutique release too.
I love it.
Second Run or whoever in the UK. Absolute classic. But anyway, gentlemen, that is the mother load of releases. Awesome. And I will be back next week to talk about a focus film. So hold your breath on that one. But there's a lot of releases coming out next week as well. A lot of releases. So we'll have a lot to get through. So, gentlemen, until next time,
stay physical.